Hello everyone and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. Folks, it's E3 season.
Yeah, it is.
Terrifying.
It's the beginning of June. It is time for E3. Like, by the time you listen to the next episode, E3 will... you'll be in the middle of E3, actually. We'll be... we'll probably skip next week. Yeah, we'll skip next week, because it'll be E3. So, you'll hear this, and then we'll be gearing up for E3. So, I hope you all are ready, and I hope you all are thinking real hard about all the different crazy shenanigans that are going to go down at E3. Because I'm absolutely ready. I'm not ready for the work. That's going to be a lot. But I'm ready to see what's going on with video games. But joining me this week to talk about video games in the calm before the storm is Niall.
Hey, hi, hello.
And Walker.
Back for the third time's a charm.
There you go. Yeah, you're 3-0 so far. That's pretty impressive.
Next time I get a free sandwich.
We'll see.
Yeah. John will owe you a sandwich, like, next time you meet him.
What kind of sandwiches do you like, Walker?
I honestly don't eat sandwiches because they have, like, the main component is always meat, and I don't eat meat, but it's a funny thing to say.
I mean, do you like PB&Js maybe? Do you just like cheese sandwiches?
Nice.
I don't know if you're like, you don't eat cheese or anything either.
No, it's just meat.
Okay.
Yeah, PB&J is good.
Well, there you go.
You can make me one of those and we're even.
There you go. I'll make you a PB&J. Are you one of those people that, the way that I'm saying this is making it sound like accusatory, but do you like different kinds of, like, jellies and jams, and, which do you prefer? Do you like creamy or crunchy peanut butter?
I'm not picky, honestly. I love all peanut butter. It's been an obsession of mine since I was a kid. Like, I'm one of those people that just grabs a spoonful and eats that as breakfast.
Sure. I prefer crunchy, for those of you keeping track at home. I'm a crunchy peanut butter guy. Mm. What about you, Niall?
I'm kind of like Walker. I don't really care. I don't eat that much peanut butter, though, so, like...
I've kind of started to eat, like, PB&J sandwiches as a snack instead of, like, chicken nuggets or something, because I'm just like, I don't want to eat, like, a handful of nuggets. I'll eat, like, a PB&J, and that's better for me, at least.
That's probably better, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly.
I mean, I'm eating it... I'm eating it with wheat bread, and I'm not going crazy with the helpings of the peanut butter or the jelly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's something. Anyway, this isn't the sandwich choo-choo. This is the video game choo-choo, and of course that means we gotta talk about video games. There's already been some stuff going on this past week.
Yeah, it's getting busy
because E3 is coming up. And the news has been hectic. Guess we could just dive right into it. Because this episode is pretty much going to be all news. Unless we just want to go over what we've been playing real quick. I haven't been playing anything new. I've just been playing Xenoblade, so I don't have anything to talk about. But, Niall, why don't you talk real quick about how you feel about Rage 2?
I hate it.
Please.
That's real quick, I guess. No, but like... So, Rage 2 is a game that has really, really good shooting, and everything else absolutely sucks. So, like... The open world is terrible, the visual design is terrible, the flow of the game is terrible, the story and characters and writing and all this stuff is terrible, and then you get to a gun battle and you're just like, oh, this is really fun for the, 30 seconds to 2 minutes it lasts, and then you're like, oh, this sucks again. Because, so the way that game functions, essentially, is... You get in your car that drives terribly, and you drive across this, empty wasteland where there's nothing happening and nothing going on, and then you get to, a bandit camp or something. You get out of the car, and then you shoot everyone, and then after you shoot everyone, everything stops. You get a big progress bar on the screen, and you got to go through like watching it level up, and like you get your money and rewards, and then you can play again. And the way they structure like these camps or whatever that you're going into is like, once you kill everyone, everything will stop and you'll get these progress bars and all this stuff. And then it'll tell you, okay, because you have no reason to ever come back here again, it'll be like, it'll give you like a checklist of things, and it'll be like, okay, you killed all the guys. Now there's like five storage crates that you have to find and open. So you go around and you gotta find these things that like are visually distinguishable by their pink lids. But the problem is that like they're mostly in like dark areas, so the pink doesn't pop off the screen like it should, which is the point of like the amount of pink that they're trying to use in this game. Like the way they use pink in this game is like it's the same way Mirror's Edge uses red, where like pink is the signifier of this is important, this is interactable. But the difference is that Mirror's Edge had a very consistent and very it had a visual design that made sense. Everything was bright, bold colors, lots of angular, sharp shapes, lots of squares and rectangles. Everything popped off the screen. Everything was bright. Whereas in Rage, everything is just like the color of sand. And it's, except for these like little pink things, which you can't ever see because they're always in the dark. And it just drives me insane. And like they're like, as I've said, like it just kills the flow of everything, because you get there, you have your gunfight, you do all the stuff, and then you get the loading screen, and then you gotta like walk around this little encampment again for another like 5 minutes trying to find all these things. And then once you find all the things, you get another like pop-up that stops you from playing, and then you gotta get in the car and drive 5 minutes, and like it just repeats this over and over and over and over and over, and it sucks. Like, the way they marketed that game was, like, they tried to position it sort of as this crazy fun, like, chaotic shooter, sort of in the vein of, like, Doom or Wolfenstein, the other Bethesda shooters. They even used Andrew WK in the, like, promotional material and stuff. This game never gets anywhere close to being that kind of like chaotic, frantic, like run and gun shooter that it liked to present itself as. There has not, like, I played the game for about 7 or 8 hours and then I uninstalled it because I didn't want to play it anymore. And in that time I didn't hear one fucking bar of an Andrew WK song. And like, if you're gonna market your game, if you're gonna tell me Andrew WK put his name to this, you better fucking deliver me Andrew WK. And they didn't deliver me Andrew WK, which makes it probably the worst video game ever made, because like I said, if you're going to tell me Andrew WK is here, you better fucking deliver Andrew WK, and it doesn't, and I'm pissed and I hate it.
Did it ever strike you as odd that they chose to market themselves with pink when Rage is kind of famous for being like the not colorful game?
Not so much, because like I think Rage, if there was ever a video game that needed like a makeover, it was Rage. So like them throwing the pink around in the marketing and stuff was like actually, I thought, kind of smart, because like it made it look like a distinct thing. But there's like hardly any pink in the world. You know, the only thing that is pink is these lids of these crates, or like ladders or whatever that you can climb. So like they underuse that as well. They underuse everything. I honestly think like if you had structured this game as a linear corridor shooter, and you had scaled back on all the like car combat and all the traversal, and even like trying to introduce all these characters who are so indistinctive and like mean nothing, Like, and you just had a game like Doom or Wolfenstein where it's just a very set path and you go down and you shoot the fuck out of dudes. I think this game would have been probably, like, really good, but instead it's just like, oh, this sucks because all of this is bad except for this one aspect, and this one aspect is, like, it never allows itself to let you get into that because the flow is constantly breaking because of the way everything else around it is structured, and it's just a mess. So yeah, don't play Rage 2 is my advice to people.
Sure. Seems like pretty reasonable advice to me.
Yeah.
Walker.
Yeah, well, I've mostly been playing the same mobile game as last week, but I also got into Neo because, Rose did that piece on Neo 2, and that sounded straight up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I would try and finish it, but as soon as I booted it up, I realized that I don't remember how to play that game at all. So I had to do the dreaded delete the save and start back again from the start. The gameplay, honestly, I don't know why I remember it being so hard, because I took to it really quickly this time. I'm not that afraid of the enemies anymore. It's really fun in that respect, but what's been driving me crazy, it's all these, insular, separate, like, RPG systems that it's got. Like, the inventory system starts out, like, normal enough, like, you have different levels of rarity, and, like, rarer weapons are stronger, and that much makes sense. But then they have, like, the soul matching system, which is, I guess, kind of standard, you can up the level of your weapon, but, like, you need to sacrifice a bigger level weapon to make it stronger. But then they have, like, this reforge system where you, like, can re-roll specific effects of the weapon, and you can, like, keep re-rolling and re-rolling until you get the effect you want. But certain weapons that have certain effects cannot have other effects. It took me, like, a good 2 hours to just get accustomed to things like this, the familiarity bar, and, like, if you get familiar enough with a weapon, that weapon can inherit its properties to another weapon when you use it for soul matching. But that also means that your attack with that weapon is stronger, so when you soul match that weapon, it will become slightly weaker, but because the familiarity ups damage. In the piece, Rose mentioned that game took 14 years to develop, and you can honestly see all these little vestigial features that aren't exactly elegant. But to me, the epitome of that is the prestige system, and it's a nifty little thing where if you do certain actions enough, it will give you points that you can use to, like, get a little stats boost. Like, kill 50 dudes with a spear, you get, like, a level, and that lets you take, like, 0.5% less damage against demons. That seems straightforward enough. But there's 2 of them for, like, no reason. There's I believe they're called the Angio and the Omnio Prestige system, and they both have, like, just a bunch of goals that if you do them you will get a level, and you can put that level into a little perk. But they seem to have, like, no reason to be separate. There's just about as many of each of them, and they're, like, not substantially different in any way. It's just bizarre how many strange menus that game has. Like, it's hard to believe that the Ninja Gaiden people made this when that game is so simple. Just go and kill dudes. And that's been just driving me up the wall for the last 5 days, just trying to understand all the strange systems in Neo that aren't kicking dudes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
I getcha. Alright. Well, why don't we get up to the news? Alright, here's the here's where I'll let you all I'll let you all vote for this one. Should I talk about one of the weirder bits of news or one of the more important bits of news that happened this week first?
Ooh,
Weird.
Yeah, let's go with the weird. Let's get it out of the way.
Alright. So, a few days ago, Pokemon had their first of, I guess, 2 conferences during the pre-E3 season. They started off with their... Basically, they did their Guff stream, and then in the coming week, they're going to do their actual Pokemon Sword and Shield Nintendo Direct, which is like where we're actually going to hear stuff we can care about. So they talked about a few things at this press conference. First off, they confirmed that there was going to be a new Detective Pikachu game for the Switch, which, that's a pretty easy thing to guess. They talked about some Pokemon Go shit, nothing really crazy. They talked about how they're going to be putting a Pokemon game on Chinese mobile devices, so they're going to expand to China with Pokemon. But the big thing for non-Chinese citizens, I suppose, was that they announced something called Pokemon Sleep. It is some sort of new thing where you can hook up your Pokemon Go device or whatever to your phone or what have you. And then there is a new device called the Pokemon it's the Pokemon Go Plus Plus. Because they had the Pokemon Go Plus. That was that little, wrist thing that would let you just, walk past a Pokestop and it would, automatically collect the items for you. And then they had the Pokeball that came with Let's Go, and that was also a Pokemon Go Plus. But this is the Plus Plus. It works with Pokemon Sleep, and I guess it somehow reads how well you slept or how long you slept, and will give you some sort of bonuses in Pokemon Go based on how you sleep. I don't fucking know what the shit is going on.
Yeah, I heard this and my immediate reaction was just oh, they made Hypnospace Outlaw, but Pokemon, which, I wish, right? But this, I don't understand the tech behind this. I don't know how they're going to measure
I
this.
have no idea.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that, some phones are able to just, pick up on your rhythms just based on, how, I guess maybe how you toss and turn while you sleep. Or maybe just, your breathing patterns. I'm not really sure. I have never looked into that. I've never turned that on or anything. But I'm guessing it's just going to use some sort of, breathing patterns or something. It's going to be oh, you're breathing weird. Alright, I guess you didn't sleep that well. You get no items this time. Which, that's great for people that just don't sleep well, I guess.
Okay, so you brought up a thing I was curious about. Is it always positive, or does it punish you as well? I'm
guessing it's just positive.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be oh, well, we're gonna release 3 of your Pokemon because you stayed up too late. I don't think they're gonna do that. But, I don't know, it's really bizarre. They did actually announce a couple of other things. One thing was they said something about something called Pokemon Home, which seems to be just the way that you're going to transfer all of your Pokemon into Sword and Shield. They used to have Pokemon Bank, which was the 3DS thing, where if you had Pokemon on, say, Omega Ruby, you could transfer them to Sun and Moon just on your 3DS because you could transfer it back and forth. But, you just have to... I guess they're making some sort of way to just transfer it all onto your Switch and then transfer all of that to Sword and Shield. It just seems like that's just going to be what that is. There might be some other social media shit. I don't know. And then the last thing they announced is what your Twitter timeline is going to be once it comes out. So I hope everybody's ready. They announced Pokemon Masters, which they didn't fully confirm this, but it looks like it's going to be a Pokemon trainer gacha game. where you team up with like gym leaders and Elite Four members and other like famous Pokemon trainers, and do battles with them. And it kind of looks like it's going to be a gacha game.
Nintendo really likes the gacha now, don't they?
I mean, Fire Emblem Heroes makes them a good amount of money. I don't know how much Dragalia makes them, but Dragalia is still going. This just seems like what their mobile games are going to be like. And hey, like, I mean, like, as soon as they announced that, like, I joked about it too, but like everyone on Twitter was just like, oh, as soon as they put the Hex Maniac in this, Nintendo's gonna make $1 billion in one day, like, no question.
God.
Well, like, I hope everyone doesn't go bankrupt with the gacha.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk shit at you if you play gacha games, but just please take care of yourself and please don't overspend on gacha. It's okay. The anime you can look up the anime JPEGs if you want, and I know that like rolling the character is part of the appeal, and like having them in your party, but it's not worth getting into financial trouble. Please take care of yourself.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's the Pokemon news this week. There's going to be more after E3, well, before E3, but we'll talk about it after E3 because that's after the Sword and Shield Direct. I'm hoping we get a good amount of information from that, because it's been a hot minute since they revealed Sword and Shield, and I'm ready for them to like show off some Pokemon and talk about like when exactly that game is coming out and what else is going to be in that game other than just catching and training Pokemon. I want to see some new stuff. Niall, you got any news on your end?
So we've kind of like expected this for a while, and I think like everybody thought like this would be addressed at E3, but Microsoft announced that the Xbox Game Pass is going to be like launching for real on PC soon. They pretty much said, like, as part of the announcement, like, tune into the press conference at E3 and we'll tell you more. But yeah, like, Game Pass has sort of worked on PC up until now. Like, it's mostly only worked with their first-party games. Like, you could play Sea of Thieves or Forza or, like, State of Decay 2 on it on PC, but you couldn't play the vast majority of stuff. And they're saying this is going to launch properly with, like, 100 games, which presumably is most of the current-gen stuff that's on there, maybe some of the backwards compatible stuff as well. We know, like, from reports that have been coming out over the past few months that they seemingly or like have been moving towards trying to get like all their games, or at least everything on the current like generation and going forward, to work on PC. So this seems like the obvious extension of that. Very interested to see how this is going to work. Like on PC, because the Windows Store kind of sucks as it is, and like even finding Game Pass as it is right now on that thing doesn't exactly work great, or it's not like easy to find, or it's not easy to find the games, the few games that like are on there. So like they still need to do a lot of stuff to streamline that once it actually does hit PC. Yeah, it's a good move, I think, for them. Like, like they seem more and more like they're more concerned with getting people into the Xbox infrastructure regardless of where people are playing. So yeah, I hope this like turns out to work the way they're aiming for it to. And as well as Xbox, it seems like Ubisoft is going to be launching a similar service now. They had something on Uplay that they swiftly took down during this week. I think they called it the Premium Pass or something, Premium Game Pass or something like that. But yeah, that went up on Uplay for like a few minutes, and then they took it down. So presumably you're going to be able to, subscribe and play all Ubisoft games pretty soon too as well, the same way you would with Game Pass or with EA Access or something like that. So, like, I think we sort of knew after it went well for EA and Microsoft that more and more of the big companies were going to start moving in this direction of like these Netflix style a la carte services. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be a big thing this E3.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's an interesting move for the industry to take. How do you think this is going to affect Microsoft's new console, though?
Like I said, I think like the impression I get is that like they will be happy as long as they're selling game passes and like presumably microtransactions and like DLC rights through that as well.
Okay.
Like I feel like the noises that they've made, and especially like from things that Phil Spencer has said over the past like year, 18 months or so, seems to be very much geared towards like, we just want to get people into our system more than anything else. Like, we're happy as long as you're playing our games, and we kind of don't care like where you're playing them. And of course, like, they pretty much like they're part of Microsoft, so they have the ability to present those things in a way that, to PC players that, could rival anything else, because, or like, Stadia, once that eventually launches or whatever, because it's built into most people's systems, so it's going to be very easy for them. You open your start menu now on Windows 10 and you get like ads for whatever, so like, I assume they're just going to work that into that system, and that's all going to be part of these like Windows 10 updates that they've been talking about, and revitalizing the store and all this stuff that they've sort of like. It seems like Microsoft as a whole, not just Xbox, but like they're trying to bring everything together into as unified a service as possible, sort of the way like iOS would work on a phone or whatever. So like, I think they'll be happy as long as people are just subscribed to this thing and playing their games.
Okay. Walker.
Last week I brought up NIS just being in complete chaos for what seems to be roughly a year.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's gonna keep going because, so the story with this Gaia RPG is that, it was like the mobile, I believe it was even gacha as well, version of this Gaia. So like, let's take our biggest IP and bring it to mobile, which is where the market is bigger in Japan. And then it went online, and then 2 weeks later it went down for maintenance, and then it never came back from maintenance. At first they said it was a delay, and then they said, no, we need to fix like deep-seated issues with the game, so it's gonna be down for a while. That was roughly a month ago now, and they said it would take 3 months, but recently the news came out that it's gonna take at least until fall 2019. Heaven knows the exact date. So that's gonna they're gonna keep on rolling in that ball of misfortune. And like, I do know that they were putting a lot of money into that, and like their stock even went down really rough when they had to overextend maintenance. Like the day after, when it didn't come back, their stock immediately took like a big plunge. So like last week I said, maybe this is just how they live, like they live constantly in the edge of bankruptcy. But honestly, I'm getting the feeling more and more that like we may be nearing the end of the line for NIS.
Yeah, like it sounds like their financial, like when you take into account their financial difficulties, like it definitely, like this is not the move that you would get out of a company that was in a healthy spot. Like this feels like this thing is never likely to come back up the way they're going right now. At least that's like assuming that the financial situation is as bad as it's been reported. We obviously don't know, but yeah, it seems rough right now.
Yeah, like you said, it seems like it may not come back up. Like, honestly, that's far enough away that it feels like it may be a polite way of saying, we're probably going to be gone before that day comes, so we won't have to answer to anyone when we fail to meet a date.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression I get from it as well. Like, they seem to be on the verge. Like, any day now you could hear that they're out of business, and I'd be like, yeah, that's been coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a really weird scenario, but, you know. It's strange. Alright, I guess I'll get to the big story this week. Well, we finally know what the hell Death Stranding is.
Do we, though? Like,
I think we have an idea.
Yeah.
So they showed an actual gameplay trailer of Death Stranding and detailed some of the other, bits and pieces here.
Yeah.
The main character, the Norman Reedus character, his name is Sam Bridges. He has to connect people like a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's real smart there. And I guess he's working to try to save America from the brink of extinction. 'Cause the apocalypse or something happened. And now there's just a bunch of bad guys roaming around in, like, fucking Monsters, Inc. outfits. And if they kill you, you go into the fucking afterlife or something, and you have to escape using a baby that's strapped to you. And, I mean, it's Kojima bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
It's what you'd expect.
Yeah, the whole thing, like, I thought the trailer was really badly edited.
I agree.
Like, it did a terrible job at both conveying what, like, the setup and story for that thing is going to be, as well as, like, make it, like, it didn't make the gameplay itself look interesting at all. But, like, from a story standpoint, it's just kind of, like, it's just words. Like, everything is just, like, it's just a word salad. It doesn't, like, make sense at all.
There's some lady that's just, like, in a hospital bed, and I guess she's the president.
Yeah.
There's, Mads Mikkelsen is, like, I guess maybe trying to chase you down, but he's also taking care of the babies. And, you know, Kojima's just on Twitter, like, talking about how hot Mads Mikkelsen is.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's... Yeah. I that's the thing I respect the most about is Kojima just being like, "Hey everyone, Mads Mikkelsen's hot as fuck. Let's all talk about how hot Mads Mikkelsen is."
Yeah. But, like, there's also all this stuff where they're, like, talking about the lore of the world and stuff in that trailer, and, like, maybe it's just because it's out of context or whatever, although I would, and I have argued many times that Kojima's a terrible writer, but, like...
Oh boy,
It's like, it's nonsense words that are being said all throughout that trailer.
Yeah. Like I think Kojima is good at... He's good at writing, like, scenes, and he's sometimes good at characters, and he's good at, like, general ideas, but I feel like he is awful at stitching an entire story together.
Yeah.
I'm still a huge Metal Gear fan, and I really like a lot of the themes that he tackles in those games. But I feel like at the end of the day, if you're trying to talk about, like, the actual story of Metal Gear, it is a gigantic mess.
Yeah.
And I absolutely understand why it would be really frustrating. But, like, you know, he's still... Like, I still think he brings up good points. Like, I still think MGS2 is, like... It's insane, like, how... Like, I don't want to say, like, exactly true to life it is, but, like, that shit's, like, scary looking back on it sometimes, like, how accurate it is to today.
Sure, like, the problem with his writing is that, like, you can tell that he's just, like he has an idea and or like he'll be in the middle of writing something and he'll have an idea and he'll just go, that's cool, put that in, and he won't stop to think about where it fits or why it works or how it would make sense. So you get like that just layer of bullshit on top of everything.
I absolutely agree. Like sometimes I like that though. Sometimes I'm like, this is so stupid, and I'm having a good time with it. But I also get why you wouldn't like it. I absolutely get that.
I think he has like a big problem with like. I don't want to say it in a mean-spirited way because that's healthy. But like I think he falls in love with his own work a bit too much.
Yeah.
Like. Posh people call it reification, which is basically like a posh way of saying you are turning a normal thing into like a thing with capital letters. And like, to me, the biggest example of that is that whole thing with like, why is it like the first game is about gene and the second is about meme and the third one is about scene and the fourth one is about sense and like the fifth one is about race. He said like, there's no reason for that to be a thing. You can just describe the theme with a whole sentence. But one day he said, "Oh, this is about Gene," and he liked the idea of having like one word for the game. So he just kept that going. And I'm seeing that happening with Death Stranding already. Like the way he described, like you need to form human connections, aka strands. Like there's no reason to use language that obtuse. Except he thinks it sounds cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm gonna admit, I eat that shit up, but like, I don't take, like, that's the thing though, is that like, I don't take it seriously. Like, I think that shit is like hilarious, and I'm just like, oh my god, Kojima's just off the fucking shits. He's saying all this crazy stuff, and like, you know, I feel like you have to compartmentalize Kojima's work. You have to be like, here's all the stupid shit that he's doing. Here's all the good shit that he's doing. This is what I unironically like about his stuff. This is what I ironically like about his stuff.
Sure.
And I think that's like the healthiest way to handle Kojima shit. Because, like the ending of Metal Gear Solid 1 is like you fighting your fucking clone brother on top of a wrecked nuke tank and then riding down a fucking hallway while he's shooting at you and driving a truck at the same time while he's going, "It's not over yet, Snake!" And then at the end of it you have to drive away and realize that living your life is the best thing that you can do and you can't just give yourself over to fate. And like, god, it's such a good ending, but it's also dumb as fuck. And it's just, you know, you have to kind of compartmentalize. You have to be like, yeah, I sure did do this dumb thing, and my brother did die while going, "Fox, die!" And then, like, you have this really moving moment with either your girl space friend or your weeby boyfriend who pissed himself like an hour ago. It's just, you know, you, for Kojima stuff, if you don't compartmentalize it, I feel like you're kind of absorbing it in a wrong way.
Sure.
And I know that. And I know that's like kind of making excuses for it, especially, and I also don't want to make it sound like I'm excusing like the shitty stuff that Kojima does, because hey, the fucking like as soon as everyone started seeing the female characters in this game, everyone was just like, all right, how are they going to mistreat these women? Like the fucking one of the first things that a lady does is get like licked by Troy Baker's character, and their names are like Mama and Fragile and shit like that. Like I'm not going to condone that. Like, don't get it twisted, but I'm more talking about, like, okay, here's, like, the good themes and aspects of this stuff, and then also here's where Kojima's talking about the strands, and the fucking flaming whale is gonna show up, and he put a fucking Guillermo del Toro in just because he wants to see his best friend in his game because he's a fucking nerd. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
No, I think that's fair. Like, just as long as, like, I think that's how most people enjoy things. Like, do you have anything that you enjoy, like, perfectly and it has no issues? Like, most people just take a little bit of value and from something, and then they're like, oh, well, that part I don't really like, or I wouldn't imitate it, but I get something out of this. And I think that's like a good way to look at it.
Sure.
Yeah. some other quick things. They're saying that Death Stranding will have online, but it'll be a sort of like asynchronous thing where you can like, if you find like a cave or some sort of hiding spot, you can like leave supplies for other people. You can like point out where some safe spaces are, so you can be like, hey, you can hide over here and stuff like that, and then people can find it. Maybe you can see like footprints of where people went, so maybe you can follow that and find safe places. And then also they talked about how killing your foe is almost never the solution. Every death carries a consequence. So maybe like if you kill somebody, they'll show up in that like upside down realm area, and that'll just make it harder to escape. It'll basically be the end, or not the end, the sorrow fight from MGS3, but forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's stuff here. Like I am still excited for this game. Like I still like Kojima stuff, but it also is very much a Kojima thing, and if you don't like those games, then this is not going to change your mind.
What's Guillermo del Toro doing in it?
He's making like a guest appearance as I think his name is like just Dead Man.
Yeah, it's Dead Man.
That's it?
Yeah.
He's not like helping with the writing or anything?
No, he's just acting in it. As far as yeah, like I'm sure it'll be a fun game, but like that trailer hasn't sold me on it at all yet. I want to see more of like what the actual game stuff is, you know, because like it just didn't look all that interesting from what they showed. It was fairly standard stealth stuff. There was some third-person gun like combat and like not a whole lot else. I want to see the unique stuff that he is claiming is in this game. Like I want to see the novel stuff rather than just like because we know at this point what like a stealth game from him looks like. We know what an action sequence from him looks like. I want to see the weird stuff that he is saying is in this thing.
Oh, I almost forgot to say. I guess the commander of bridges is a character called Die Hard Man.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it'll be. I think at the very least, even if this game isn't great, which, you know, I didn't really like MGS5 on the whole. But God, the jokes from that game are still funny. Like, people still making jokes about that stupid-ass game. It's still funny. I think Death Stranding will still be funny at the end of the day. We can still make fun of it, at least.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
I mean, like, I enjoyed the actual parts of Metal Gear 5 where you were playing it, so, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it did, you know, have plenty of scope, like you said, for just fucking around and doing stupid stuff, so... Hopefully Death Stranding has that stuff too. I don't know. It doesn't look like it really like will function in the same way or like allow you to do the same kind of stuff, but who knows? We still don't really know what it is.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's see here. Walker, what's going on with Ion Maiden?
Oh, well, what's happened is that wherever you are, Iron Maiden are gonna get you. And by get you, they mean they are gonna sue you for $2 million. Because, the 80s heavy metal band Iron Maiden are suing the game Iron Maiden because their names sound vaguely similar. I guess they sound more than vaguely similar. Yeah,
to be, it's Iron Maiden is the band, and Ion Maiden is the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so, with a proper British accent, not my weird mixed one, like they do sound more similar, but still, it's not the same word, right?
It's absolutely not. And, I mean, you know, it's if you're gonna make a band and call it Iron Maiden, like, yeah, you're obviously just aping off of Iron Maiden, but there are plenty of things called the Iron Maiden in other things because, it's based on the medieval torture device.
Which, fun fact, apparently they didn't exist. Like, we made them up because we thought it sounded cool.
Well,
like, Iron Maidens weren't a real thing.
There you go.
And the other thing they brought up is, they think that the logos look similar, but they don't, at all.
Yeah, they really don't.
Iron Maiden's logo is like a very geometric red letters. It's like in a million t-shirts all over the world. And Iron Maiden's logo, the game, is like a welded, like rounded design. Like they have nothing remotely similar. Mm-hmm. And the other complaint they have is the protagonist is this girl named Shelley Harrison, who they claim is inspired by the bassist and lead songwriter Steve Harris, because I guess they both contain the word Harris in them.
And their first names start with S.
Yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous lawsuit, like...
My hope is that this is one of those, like, the legal department forced their hand, but who knows? Like, it's dumb either way. They do have a video game, I guess. Like, maybe it's because, like, they're in the same market arena, so they're, like, forced to at least make a show of defending their trademark, I suppose. But it's so weak.
Yeah, from what the lawsuit said, it was specifically because I guess Iron Maiden made a PC game back in the 90s
and a mobile game. Yes.
Okay, and then they also both sell like T-shirts, so they're trying to be like, oh, maybe someone will type in Ion Maiden game when they meant to type in Iron Maiden game, or they'll type in Ion Maiden t-shirts when they meant to type in Iron Maiden t-shirts, and it's like anyone, if anyone is Googling Iron Maiden t-shirts in 2019, they know exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
If they accidentally miss that R, they're gonna see friggin' video game shit, and they're gonna say, that's not what I want. I want the big devils and the old dudes playing metal. Like, people aren't stupid, and I feel like this wouldn't really hold up. But at the same time, 3D
it's not
Realms,
gonna hold up, I'm sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, 3D Realms might not have the money to go to court, and, who knows if they're gonna be able to stand up to this. Like,
mm-hmm.
It's hard to say, so, hopefully this can be solved without too much trouble for 3D Realms, because, hey, Ion Maiden is a really cool game, and I'm hoping that they're able to put that out without any kind of trouble.
Yeah, they've said that they're continuing to develop as if the game is going to come out as normal, so hopefully it won't be affected. I feel like this will go away pretty quickly. Like, it is a very, very frivolous lawsuit to me. And plus, this is a character, Shelley, that has existed since the 90s. She was like a concept for Duke Nukem Forever back when 3D Realms were still doing that. So she was in Bombshell 3 or 4 years ago. It's this is a character that's been around, and this is just this is bullshit, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is better or worse than the time Bethesda sued Mojang for the word scrolls?
I feel like this is worse, because at least Mojang and Bethesda were both, or maybe it's about the same, actually, because I was going to say at least they were both video game companies, but I guess if Iron Maiden are claiming this is infringing on their video game, I don't know. Either way, it's still really stupid to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, all your heroes are gonna let you down someday. I'm really pissed off about that, because I do love the band, but that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame. Niall, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Not really. I think E3 is coming up, but I guess we can get into like a full-on E3 thing maybe in a little bit after we get through everything else.
Sure. I mean, I just have like 2 other things that I can talk about real quick.
Sure.
They're just this is kind of like just the John Machonsky minute, where I'm going to talk about stuff that I'm excited about, and basically just me. First off, I don't know why they're doing it, but they're remastering that Ghostbusters video game that came out in like the early 10s.
Yeah.
It's about 10 years ago. God, I legitimately really love that game. I mean, it's been 10 years since I've played it, but I remember really, really liking it. No matter what your opinion is on the All Ladies reboot game or reboot movie, and especially what your opinion is on them trying to do another sequel that's like an actual sequel to the original, or whatever the fuck they're trying to do now to satiate all the babies. I will say, if you do just want a straight-up Ghostbusters 3, like a sequel to that original movie series that doesn't feel cynical, that doesn't feel like they're just trying to cash in on, pissants being pissants, it is that game. They got the original crew back together. It is all 4 of the original Ghostbusters, and you play as like a new recruit, and you go through a bunch of different adventures together, just catching ghosts, and it plays well, I mean, yeah, it has everybody except for like Sigourney Weaver and what's his name? Forgetting. I'm blanking so hard. What's his fucking name? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's on the tip of my tongue. Fuck, hang on.
All 4 of the main Ghostbusters were there, I seem to remember.
It has Rick Moranis. Yes, that's right. It has everybody except for them. So, it was a fun enough game.
It's alright.
It's not something that like I'm gonna be like, oh, just everyone should go out and play it. But if you enjoyed the Ghostbusters movies and you're itching for some kind of just goofy ghost capturing game, I absolutely recommend checking it out, and I'm totally gonna pick this up.
Well, you mentioned that it's the sequel we never got, and that's like it actually uses the script that they were doctoring for Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the concept was that hell comes to Earth, and that's like spoilers the plot of the game.
Well, yeah, it's basically their Ghostbusters Go to Hell like script, but reworked a bit so that way it's workable for a video game. But it's just as funny as what you would expect for Ghostbusters, and like they do a great job doing the voice acting, like all 4 of the original crew. It's absolutely worth a look if you're a fan of those original movies.
I'm just realizing how weird that game is gonna play now, because it came out in the middle of Gears of War, like every shooter is trying to be a Gears of War, and that's just not the world we live in anymore.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little time capsule.
And finally, real quick, there was a Smash update. It wasn't anything too major, because I'm sure that we'll get the character and all that during E3. But they did add something really weird. They added VR. So what you do, because the Switch doesn't have a strap on the Toy-Con VR thing, what you're supposed to use to play the VR. You're supposed to hold it up to your face, and then just use the fucking Joy-Cons that are attached to the Switch and play single player. Just play against the computer. And you can look around the stage and be like, oh wow, I'm playing Smash Bros. In VR. And that's all it is.
So you're like holding the controllers next to your ears?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's really dumb. I don't have the VR headset, so I just try to do it without the headset. And, I mean, that didn't work, and, you know, obviously I can't fully judge because that's not how it's supposed to work.
Wait, hold on. But, like, what does it change? Is it 3D now? Or, like, is it, like, first person?
It splits, it's like, you just have, like, a zoomed-in view of the fight while you're watching it. And then you look around and it moves the camera around. And, like, you're still just looking at the fight. You're still looking at the Smash Bros. Happening in front of you. But that's it. It's just zoomed in and you can, like, look around a little bit.
Outstanding.
That sounds like a real good way to get sick.
It sure does. It absolutely is. And then the other thing that they added was small but kind of cute. Mm-hmm. They made it so you can send your amiibos out and so they can fight online.
Oh, cool.
Which, yeah, like it's the only thing that's a little weird about it is how it's structured. Because I did it last night, and what it is you pick your amiibo, you put it on, and then they have to fight 3 times, and you don't watch the fights live. You wait for the fights to be over, and then you watch the fight. Which is really weird. I wonder if there's some kind of, like... I don't know what kind of, like, connection reasons why it wouldn't do that. Or maybe there's some kind of, like, limitations with the amiibos, like, AI or something. I couldn't tell you. Mm-hmm. But... other than that, I mean, it's kind of cute that you can just be like, oh, here's my amiibo, and now they can fight against people all around the world and level up more. I think that's kind of cute. I'll probably do that here and there just to be like, oh, that's cute, that's fun. I get to have my amiibos level up, and then, you know, bring them to a tournament. Like, all right, it's time to do my amiibo tournament. I'm gonna fight my amiibo against your amiibo, and this one got leveled up online, so it's even stronger, and all that shit.
My amiibo can beat up your amiibo.
Exactly. I'm kind of into that. And then there were some balance changes. You know, they made Pichu bad, I guess, which a lot of people are very happy about because I guess Pichu is the cheap character right now. Everyone is really pissed or happy or both. I couldn't tell you. But, you know, they didn't change Mewtwo, so that's all I care about. Alright, well, that's it from me. Should we just kind of talk about what we expect to see from E3?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Alright. Okay. So this doesn't take a million years. I think we should just kind of, like, rattle off a couple of things that we want to see. Not get too specific. You know, just a reminder for everybody that Sony is not going to be there. It is, you know, it's going to be, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Nintendo, Square Enix,
Bethesda,
the PC Gaming Show, and Devolver. I think that's everything.
I think there's a VR show as well at some point, but...
Sure. And then there's going to be other announcements because Keighley's doing his, like, E3 Coliseum, and they'll probably talk about some shit there. But what would you all like to see at E3, and what do you expect to see? What do you maybe don't care about at E3? Just, you know, let's just shoot the shit a bit about E3 for a hot minute. Walker, how about we start with you this time? What are some things that you are excited to see at E3, that you hope you see at E3, and what are some things that you just want to be done with at E3?
I have one item on my wish list, and I will be happy for the rest of the year. No More Heroes 3. I am chomping at the bit for that, because the Travis Strikes Again ended on a tease for it. And, I mean, not even that. I've been waiting for it since No More Heroes 2. So, that's the only thing I want. It's looking like it might happen, but I don't want to get my hopes up. Excited. I don't really like to... I find it really exhausting to keep on, like, with continuous updates about updates. So I don't really know what anyone is showing at E3. I'm just, like, going in blind.
Okay. And then
And,
is there anything that you like absolutely don't want to hear?
Yeah, I don't want to have to sit through the goddamn car games when they bring a car and they're like, look at this new car, and we made the car in the game. I like the racing games just fine, but can we not bring in the car and spend 10 minutes talking about like the leather seats in this car? Like,
Well, I'm sorry to say that since Microsoft is gonna 99.9% going to be showing off a new console, that means there's going to be a new Forza on that thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to see the car. There's going to be some fucking car porn this year.
It's gonna
for sure.
It's gonna be my Monokuma car from Forza Horizon 4.
It's going to be everyone's awful car. They're just going to be like, here are the top 10 worst cars we saw.
okay, now that I would like.
Yeah, I would eat that up if it was just
Because I like the virtual cars. I just don't like when they bring the car onto the stage and they're like, "Oh, this is the real car. Go buy it now."
If they just made like an actual physical like 3-wheel Monokuma car like Niall made, that's just like how like didn't it go like 300 miles per hour? And,
I like because like you can upgrade any car in that game. So like I just bought like all the S tier upgrades, so it went so fast, and because like it only had 3 wheels, it was impossible to steer, and it was going like 250 miles an hour, and just it was a disaster.
They'll make that real, and then just on the stage, it'll just like burst into flames. It'll be like Homer's car.
God, I'd love that, honestly.
Oh boy. But Niall, go ahead and answer those 3 questions for yourself.
So, like, I kind of feel weird about E3 this year because I've yet to really get super excited for it at all. Like, I'm not sitting here like, oh, I can't wait to see all this stuff. Like, there's a couple of things that I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this Final Fantasy VII remake is going to be. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the new Xbox is, what they're aiming for out of that thing. But otherwise, like, there's not a ton of excitement there for me. I'm more kind of curious because I think for me it's like I hate using the phrase AAA, but like it is that sort of, that section of the industry has done a lot to earn my mistrust and my skepticism over the past couple of years, I think. And I'm kind of like looking at it going, oh, it's going to be a bunch of like games as a service things. It's going to be a bunch of like walkbacks on all the shitty stuff that EA did this past year or whatever. Like, it's hard for me to get super stoked about a lot of this stuff because my immediate reaction is going to be just like, what's the catch? Like they're already saying the Avengers game is going to be a games as a service thing. So that's going to have all this bells and whistles around
predatory.
it. Yeah, like all the stuff that you don't want is already going to be around there. And I'm kind of looking at Microsoft's press conference as like, you guys are the ones who are going to have like the exclusive single player games, I hope, finally. Like, and those are going to be the games that I think will stand out. Like, I don't give a fuck what Ubisoft have to say. I don't care what EA have to say unless they're going to give me either Skate 4 or a new Mirror's Edge or a new SSX. I don't care. Because they've just like, all their games are the same. All their games are predatory in ways that I just don't like. I don't need another 20 open world games that are all the exact same open world. I guess maybe we'll see more stuff from Cyberpunk, which should be good. Like, obviously, CD Projekt Red are one of the few developers out there that have done an open world well in the past 5 years, or ever, actually, now that I think about it. I'm hoping we see more of Control from Remedy, but that game was at Sony's press conference last year, I think, if I remember right. So I don't know where that's going to show up this year, because it's obviously not going to be at Microsoft's if they have the deal with Sony. I don't know where it might slot in. Maybe they just release, some kind of video. So yeah, I don't know. Not super excited for anything, but at the same time, I'm not super pessimistic. I just want to see something new and fresh more than anything else.
Okay. I absolutely agree. As for myself, I'll echo Walker a little bit by saying I definitely want to see No More Heroes 3, and I'm pretty confident that will be there, just based on how things have shaken out. Most of my answers are Nintendo shit, because that's me. I'm the Nintendo bastard. Obviously I want to see Smash stuff. I want to see... Pokemon's going to be before that, so Pokemon's, out of that. But I want to see more of Astral Chain. That's something I really want to see. The new Platinum game that's going to be on Switch.
Sure.
Maybe some Bayo 3 news. I know that's probably far off, but, that would be nice to see. Pretty much everything that isn't Animal Crossing. I'm pretty sure that Animal Crossing is going to be the focus this year, because of course it is. If it's not, there are going to be so many people pissing and screaming, and at this point I kind of get it. But I'm not into Animal Crossing, so I'm happy for all of you that are, and I hope that they show a lot of stuff. Because, trust me, last year was my year. Y'all can have this year. But, that's fine. And then, I'm hoping that, the Avengers thing is one thing, but I would love for, some kind of other, kind of superhero thing. I would love if they were oh, hey, we're doing a Spider-Man. Of course they're going to do a Spider-Man sequel, but I would love to see a confirmation of a new Spider-Man, or maybe another superhero, something like that. That would be cool. I'm still pissed that the Iron Man game is a VR game, because I would fucking kill to have an open world Iron Man game. I know you just said no more open world games, but hey, what if you were in a fucking robot mech suit and you were Iron Man? That would be cool. In my opinion, at least. Mostly my other answers is just, I want to see stuff that other people want to see. I want people to be happy. That's kind of what I want.
You brought up superhero games. Isn't Rocksteady, haven't they been quiet for many years now?
They're doing Avengers, I believe, right?
No. Square Enix is doing Avengers.
Wasn't Rocksteady developing that, though? Maybe I'm thinking something.
No,
they were doing Justice League, was the rumor, right?
Rocksteady is the big rumor, is that Rocksteady's doing Justice League. That's right. So that'll actually be really interesting if we're actually going to have two compete, DC versus Marvel at E3 this year. That's actually kind of cool. I would love to see Avengers versus Justice League, basically.
And this would be the one arena where DC actually has the higher ground, because Rocksteady has pedigree doing superhero games.
Yeah. Rocksteady's last superhero game wasn't amazing, but at the very least, they still have the pedigree of making one of the best ones ever,
I didn't like any of them, but I do know that people like them a lot.
I like Asylum and City, and I didn't play Arkham Knight, but I definitely understood why people were frustrated with it.
Yeah,
I think Asylum is fantastic, and City has its moments, and it's good on the whole. But Knight is just eh.
Yeah, I didn't hate Arkham Knight as much as a lot of people did, but it's definitely a step down from Asylum and City even. That game had a lot of technical issues, I think, that sort of overshadowed everything else. It's fine, but it's kind of forgettable.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Another thing I didn't bring up because I forgot it's happening. Pikmin 4. They said that was in development years ago, and then they didn't say anything else. But like, I really like Pikmin. I'm excited to see more. Yeah, I just find it really cute.
I totally agree. I'm kind of upset with myself that I forgot about that, but, I would love to see Pikmin 4. I remember there was some kind of rumor that said that they were going to probably port 3 to Switch first, which I understand that. Like, 3 is a fantastic game, and I hope that they don't just leave it on the Wii U.
Yeah, because I didn't get to play it, and I love the first 2, so I would like to have a chance to play 3 before it happens.
You would love 3. 3 is really good. Like, 3 is like a combination of the first 2 games. Like, it has the, like... It has the ability to spread yourself out, like 2 did, because you had Olimar and Louie, but you have 3 characters in 3.
Oh.
But then it also has, like, the time mechanics. Not exactly like 1, but I think it does what 1 does better, because instead of it being like, oh, you have 30 days to do it, it's your goal is to collect food, and so you have to kind of balance, oh, you have this much food to eat while you're here, but you still want to bring some back. You have to figure out, okay, am I going to eat all this food and then try to grab some treasure, or what? Like, it's a balance. I think it's really genius what they did with 3. So I'd love to see what they do for 4, if that ever comes out. Yeah, I mean, I just want to be surprised. I feel like I say this every year, but again, the best stuff is the surprise. Like, I remember flipping the fuck out when they revealed RE2 because I want that. I want the surprise. Like, I distinctly remember I was sitting there and that trailer started and it was just like a rat scurrying around and I was like, is this some fucking rat game? What's going on? And then you just saw zombies and I was like, oh, it's a fucking zombie. Yeah, alright, whatever. Yeah. And I was like sitting there ready to just, alright, whatever. And then you just see Leon's beautiful face turn around and I was like, oh, it's Leon! Oh, it's Resident Evil! Okay!
Yeah. God.
You know what? RE3. Give us a teaser for RE3. How about that?
Are they doing that?
I would... supposedly it's in development. I would rather RE8 before 3 just because,
Another Resident Evil. Yeah. Let's just do a Resident Evil. Show us a Resident Evil this year.
I'm down for a Resi.
Yeah. Or show us a rat game.
Just Ratatouille the game. Finally. Oh, there already was a Ratatouille the game. It was terrible.
Yeah,
Ratatouille 2.
Give us like the rat movie game or something. Like give us a giant rat. Let us make all the rules. Let's do that. Let us see what kind of trouble we can get into.
Gay rat wedding the game.
Oh fuck. God. I'm just imagining like a fucking like solemn remix of the Rat movie song, but then like in solemn like creeping text just falls down the screen. It just says cake and ice cream is on its way. Oh boy!
You gotta find the magic toothbrush or whatever, and it's.
Oh boy! Flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
And then for stuff that I don't want to see, I mean, I'm just glad we don't have to see Days Gone anymore. So,
oh boy, yeah.
Jeez.
I'm gonna try not to complain. I'm gonna be like, all right, we don't gotta see Days Gone. We're good.
We're free. The curse is over.
Actually, I was gonna say maybe we would get like a teaser for an expansion, but I remembered Sony aren't gonna be there at all, so probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good. We're safe from that. And I guess I should say Doom. I want to see Doom as well.
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to see Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, you're not going to because that's Sony.
Oh, that's damn.
Yeah. Actually, Doom is one that should be good. I would assume that they'll probably show Wolfenstein Youngblood because that's out in July. Mm-hmm. I would actually assume that would be probably a pretty big part of Bethesda's. Maybe. Do you think Bethesda are going to say anything about Fallout after the disaster that was 76? Do you think they try?
I think they're going to have a quiet year.
Yeah,
on that game.
I think the worst thing they could do would be have Todd Howard get out there and make coy references to how bad that game is and how broken it is or whatever.
they are absolutely going to do that because they are going to talk about like the expansion that's coming out for that game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Plus, last year they did the same thing. Like, our games aren't famous for being the most stable, are they?
Mm-hmm. Ha ha ha! Port Skyrim to everything. Ha ha ha!
Yeah. It's just like that kind. Like you can kind of get away with that when it's Skyrim or Fallout 4, and people like those games. But when it's Fallout 76 and all the disaster of a PR campaign and like everything that happened afterwards, I don't think they'd get away with that.
Yeah,
maybe they'll bring Andrew WK out and have him sing about Fallout 76.
We're sorry about making the shittiest game of last year. Like,
honestly,
do you think they will actually pull the trigger on making it free to play?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I could see that. I don't know. I mean, I feel like at this point, like, there's a part of me that's like, oh, they'll make it free to play, but then there's another part that's like, I almost feel like that would almost be too much work to like put in the effort to make it free to play. So it's just like let's just keep making this bullshit. Who fucking cares?
Also, Niall hit the nail on the head. I want to see more Andrew WK. Like, just give me good songs in my E3 presentations.
Yeah, that went so well for them last year.
I love that song. I was happy.
Listen, I own at least 2 Andrew WK albums. I'm pretty sure, but like, I don't really need more Andrew WK.
That room was dead.
Yeah,
yeah. No one cared. It was poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like. Nobody's cared about Andrew WK since like 2004, so like bringing him out 15 years later is, if nothing else, I respect like the gumption to try and trot Andrew WK out there in his 40s or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just ready for E3 to be dumb as fuck. That's all I want.
Yeah,
I'm ready. Alright, well, that should be it for our E3 hopes and wishes. If you have E3 hopes and wishes, you know what, here, you can have some fun with this. You can send in questions for the next episode, obviously. That is videogamecheatshooter.tumblr.com/ask. But, if you hear this before E3, you should send in some of your predictions. That might be fun.
Oh, that's
be like,
fun.
oh, that's crazy. Oh, you guessed that right. Or, oh, that was really wrong. That's fun. So yeah, so if you want, send in some of your predictions, videogamecheatshooter.tumblr.com/ask, and we'll read them on the podcast after E3, and we'll see how right and wrong you were. It'll be a little fun game for everyone. But for now, we're going to answer some of the questions that you all sent for this week. The first one is from Shulis, who asks, what is the druid from the box art of Mystery of the Druid screaming about?
let me look up Mystery of the Druid.
Yeah, same.
He's screaming
this
about
game,
he's screaming about how close E3 is and how scary E3 is for all of us.
He's screaming at the game's Metacritic score of like 50 or whatever.
I don't know, I think he's screaming about his horrible mustache that looks like a fungi. That's a terrible render.
I'm looking at the Steam page for this game, and like one of the bullet points is like or among the bullet points are more than 20 speaking characters, 5 hours of voiceovers, lip sync dialogue created through phonetic speech analysis, extensive real-time soundtrack.
It's an older game.
Yeah.
This used to be impressive.
Yeah, like, I just can't imagine ever being like, we have 5 hours of voice acting in our game. Isn't that good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I remember there were some games that were like, this many hours of full motion video when that was a phrase.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wild times we're all in. Anonymous asks, Would you rather spend a night in Frankenstein's funhouse or a night in Dracula's dome?
Dracula's dome.
I feel like, yeah, I was gonna say Dracula's dome is probably where I would want to stay. Like a dome feels like there's more freedom of expression there. Like a fun house is like, oh, you're gonna walk in there and it's just gonna be like a hall of mirrors and like a bounce house or something.
Yeah.
But in the dome, you could probably chill there. Like probably there's probably just like it's probably like a fridge. Just chill.
Just one
It's
fridge.
probably like a fridge.
Yeah, you know, it's just there's like a couch maybe. I don't know. I don't know why I'm like thinking that there's just going to be like a place to chill at Dracula's
I think you're right.
dome.
Like Dracula's a well-off dude. Like he wants to live comfortably, so his dome must be like pretty nice.
Yeah.
See, like, to me, you're just describing Dracula's dome as like one of those like male living space.txt images or whatever. But
that might be what I was thinking of.
yeah,
Yes.
See, for me, it's like if I gotta spend the night somewhere, I'd rather spend it in a dome than a funhouse, because like funhouse doesn't seem very like relaxing. You know, like I just want to put my feet up if I gotta spend the night somewhere and just chill.
Yeah, Frankenstein's funhouse is going to be like blaring music all night.
Yeah.
And, like there's going to be carnival games everywhere. And you're going to be like, God, shut up.
It's like clown laughter in the background.
Yeah. I feel like Dracula's less like wild than as well. Like he's just sort of chill, you know. He's not gonna. He's just gonna sit there and read books or whatever, and you're just gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna. Please don't bite me or whatever.
He'll be like, all right, fine. Let's see here. Harlequin Wheels asks, what's your favorite upgrade/transformation in a game that you get in a cutscene and then immediately get to use in the game? On the flip side of that, do you have any cutscenes you dislike because you have to win in the game, but you end up losing in the following cutscene? So I have one for the first answer there. And spoilers for Xenoblade 2, because I've been playing that again recently. Absolutely, when Nia powers up into her blade form in Xenoblade 2, that is so fucking cool. Like, this character that you've been hanging out with for ages and has been, like, a person who controls blades, suddenly reveals that she is a blade herself, and she has, like, really strong healing powers and really strong attacks, and it's just like, oh yeah, we are, like, 5 times more powerful now. And you can just whip ass, and it's so cool, and just her, like, being like, I'm, like, and also just thematically, everyone accepting her for who she really is, and, like, all of those characters being like, yeah, we're a family, we all love each other. It's so good! So, that is absolutely my answer, is Nia and her blade form in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I can picture it in my head and I can't remember what game it is I'm thinking of, but it absolutely drives me insane anytime you, like, get one of those cutscenes and then you, like, have to lose. And, you know, or like the story dictates that you lose then, like, it always is just like, just have me lose. Just don't do that, just have me lose.
Yeah, like, I'd rather, like, yeah, just, like, don't even let me go into gameplay, I feel like, at some
exactly.
point.
Yeah.
It's, like, there's some times where it's effective, like, you know, Super Metroid, I feel like that's a good way to do that, but, like, 90% of the time, especially if it's in an RPG, because there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, I walk into somewhere and I'm, like, over-leveled, and I still lose, and it's like, well, that just makes me feel dumb. Like, just don't make me get in the fight with this person, because I am stronger than them.
I have one for the second one. Spoilers for Red Dead Redemption 1. I don't know if, like, at the end of that game, like, the army comes for you, and eventually, you tell your wife and son, like, go away and I'll buy time, and you die in cutscene. Like, well, that's a cutscene, and then you get gameplay, but you die immediately in gameplay.
Right.
But that happens because your character's like, oh crap, we're losing. But you're not losing because you kill entire forts of people in that game. And the army is sending like 6 dudes against you. and you kill them easily, and then the character is like, oh, we need to retreat now because 6 men are too threatening. When, like, I think they could have done something better, like, just keep sending more guys, and when you actually start losing, trigger the cutscene. And that would make more sense.
Yeah, like, I think the one time for me that ever worked was Halo Reach, which is, like, exactly what you're talking about, where it's just survive as long as you can, but eventually you're going down.
That's exactly what they should have done. That's the best example of that.
Yeah.
Do either of you have one that's like a power-up that you get and then use right after?
My favorite DMC3 weapon, Nevan, who is an electric guitar, and you see him play and you're like, there's no way I'm gonna fight with an electric guitar in the real game, is there? Oh no, yes, I fight with an electric guitar, and my main method of attack is just playing the guitar.
It's pretty good. Niall, do you have one?
I cannot think of one right now.
Okay. I'll say one more, and it's not really like a full-on transformation, but it is just like revitalizing. I don't know if this is like fully what Wheels is talking about, but it kind of fits. Is the Super Metroid part, like when you're sneaking onto the space pirate ship and you're in your Zero suit, and then you finish that part and you get your power suit back, and then you're even stronger after that, and then you end up just like waltzing out of the space pirate ship, just like, like, fuck you all, you were giving me trouble before and now I'm just wiping the floor with you. Like, that was so satisfying. That was just beautiful game design.
I'm trying to remember if at the end of Vanquish there's a cutscene, or if they just give you the upgrades in the middle of the boss fight. But if there is a cutscene, then that one, because they could make an entire sequel based on the final upgrades in Vanquish, which I actually don't want to spoil that one because Vanquish is so good. Vanquish is never going to happen, but still.
Alright, one more question. Again, if you want to send in questions, it's at videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask, or you can tweet them at us whenever you want. Anonymous asks, how expansive will the Resident Evil Remake parade be? Will we eventually see Code Veronica or Zero being remade?
I wouldn't expect to see the first game or Zero being remade, because they already remade them for GameCube, and then they did, like, the remasters of those, and those still look really good.
Yeah, so I think it should be remembered that the reason why these remakes are happening is because they want to put all of these games on the NT framework, because that can be ported really easily. So that's why they remade 2.
Wait, but isn't 2 on a new engine, though? Like Reach for the Moon RE2 engine?
Well, it's on that engine, but it's also using the NT framework to let it be like patched up and.
Okay.
Yeah, so like Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 0, and 4, and some of the other stuff is already on that framework.
Yeah.
So they don't need to worry about remaking those. And that's why they're going to it's 99% gonna remake 3.
Yeah.
Because so that way they could just port that forever after they remake it.
Yeah. I mean, they've already ported 6 and 5. Revelations has been ported to a few different things, so I would really only think that 3 and maybe Code Veronica are going to be ported or remastered or remade. I would love to see Code Veronica done again, because that's a really good game. But yeah, like I don't expect anything outside of that. I mean, like at this point, your toaster can probably play Resident Evil 4, so like,
Yeah, do you think they'll ever touch 4? Because like that's such a milestone that I don't see anyone wanting to tackle a game like that.
No, I think 4 is like Resident Evil 4 is the series' version of Final Fantasy 7 to me. Like, if they ever do it, it's going to have to be like 20 years later, you know, like it's...
Yeah, it's almost 20 years later, so... Yeah.
Don't say that, don't say
I don't think they're gonna... I think that game holds up well enough today that, like, it does... It, like, you can't... Like, if you go and you play Final Fantasy 7 now, it doesn't look particularly good. It's, like, even upscaled on a modern... screen, it's hard to tell what the heck is going on half the time in that thing. The writing has aged really, really badly. Whereas with Resident Evil 4, it still looks okay, it still looks fine. Like, the writing was always bad, but it was bad in a way that was great. So, like, that's gonna age way better than, like, weird racist characters or whatever.
I actually do, like, I do have one nitpick that no one else cares about. Like, that game takes place in Spain,
right? And
everyone speaks with American Spanish accents, and it drives me up the wall.
Yeah, I totally like understand. Like,
yeah,
it drives me up the wall anytime accents are ever wrong in anything in that way. But like,
I could tolerate it, but like, it's a different continent,
right? It's a different dialect, pretty much. Like,
I think the way they describe it is that instead of saying that it's set in Spain, they just say it's set in Europe and they speak Spanish. So, I don't know.
I mean, they speak Spanish in, like, southern Italy and southern France as well, but, like, they speak it like...
Yeah.
I speak it, not like Latin American Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so annoying. Yeah. Also, like, you brought up Final Fantasy VII, like, do you think that, like, that game is basically eco-terrorism is awesome?
I mean,
do you think they're gonna doctor the script?
I mean, I think they'll keep the thematic elements, especially because, like, the whole, eco aspect of that game is even more prescient and, like, valuable now, but a lot of that script does need to be cleaned up. Like, a lot of it is very bad. You know, like, the quality of localization 20 years ago is not what the quality of localization is now. Like,
and they already cleaned up Barrett a bit. Like, Barrett is not the same person now.
Yeah, but like, that's probably a good thing because he was just sort of like a caricature of, you know.
But I'm saying, like, if they're willing to like make him drastically different, like, I wouldn't put them past them to be like, do you know what? Maybe people are gonna get angry if we endorse eco-terrorism.
No, I think, like, because at that point you're basically making a different game. It's why I don't think they'll pull, like, the you can revive Aerith stuff, because her dying is such a crucial element of that game's plot.
Yeah.
Like, if they were going to make a major change to the story for this remake, the one thing I would actually really like to see them do is to do the original idea that they were going to do for the end of the game, where everyone dies except your party. So it's just like the three of you are the ones left alive to fight Sephiroth. But, like, I would hope that they don't bring Aerith back, or that they don't tone down the environmentalist message or the message about the dangers of unchecked capitalism or any of that stuff that's in that game.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I would not be... I know this might sound crazy, but I would not be opposed to them revisiting RE4, but they wouldn't revisit RE4 for technical reasons. They would do it for artistic reasons.
Exactly.
They would want to touch that game up because they wanted to, not because they need to port it. But yeah, it's just they're gonna do Resident Evil 3 and then maybe Code Veronica if enough people want it. I mean, right now I feel like after they do 3, there's so much talk about it. I would not be surprised if they went back for Dino Crisis. I think they'll want to reboot Dino Crisis.
Do you think so?
Yeah, there's
That would be so cool.
There's a lot of people asking for it, and there's
Yeah.
already rumors about it. So I think after the success of RE2, I think people want Dino Crisis, and I think Capcom might deliver on that.
Yeah, I would love to see a new Dino Crisis like that. That is like one of the, because I don't like this trend of just remaking everything, but like Dino Crisis and Parasite Eve are like the two games I would want remade. So if like they actually went and did that, that would be really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about Parasite Eve after third birthday, but yes, Dino Crisis is. I love that game.
I mean, if they made Parasite Eve and they made it like Parasite Eve, just more modern, that's what I want. I don't want them to be like, oh, let's make it a crappy third-person shooter. I want it to be Parasite Eve, but with modern sensibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. I guess that should be it for this week. Real quick, I would like to let everybody know the usual. It is our Twitter is at VGChooChoo. Our Tumblr is videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. We have our Discord server, thegamezone.zone. You type that into your web browser, and it'll bring you straight there. Some other notes. We are, of course, going to do our CEO panel. That is going to be at CEO 2019 in Daytona Beach, Florida. We don't know exactly what date it is still, but the event is the 28th, 29th, and 30th. So just come on down and hang out with us. There's still hotels in that area. There's still, tickets on sale for everything. If you want to go see wrestling, there's going to be really good wrestling on that Saturday. Let me think. Please donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/VGCC. We have expenses coming up. We're paying for travel for CEO. We're paying for site redesigns. By the time you hear this, there will be some improvements implemented for the site. We're still going to be working on that. So, donate to our Patreon, and those improvements will come faster, because we'll be able to pay the web designer in a timely fashion so we can get this stuff done. That is what we want. And of course, we're also going to be paying for art assets and all that. So the more we get, the more we can do. Just basic math there. And of course, I can't think of anything else. I guess that's it. We'll see you next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. No, we won't. We won't. Because we're going to be doing E3 stuff. Yeah. So no.
See you in 2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. So long.